Hi, this is Deb with Pinecone Press, and welcome to our good old summertime, summer adventure, summer fun, whatever you want your summer to be or what you want to call it. Now, we are featuring a couple of different kits here in this presentation. So we're going to do our walkthrough of the G45, the French Country. This one we created a 6x6 album, and it has just a really unique ribbon binding to that. And there's 24 pages in this album. So we're going to go through and talk about this in a little bit. Our other project that we're going to be doing is, we have also with the G45 paper, is this, we have a 2 project. So with this kit, you're able to make both albums. And they are made with our flat book blanks. So we have the one that, oops, my ribbon's fraying there a little bit. It opens, and then it has an accordion fold, and that's not really secured in there because I want to be able to show you the accordion. And the other one, so you have both sides of the accordion that is with that. And in a moment, I'm going to show you these briefly. We're going to kind of just give a quick overview of some other summer fun projects, because we have so many summer albums, and then we will come back through and we'll do a little step-by-step on these. So for those of you that have ordered the kits, thank you, and don't worry, we will get back and talk about them. Now the other one then is taking our flat book blanks, and the flat books have 3 sections. So you have your first section, which is adhered to the second section, which has a flap in it, which is adhered to the third section. And again, these are just lightly tacked together so I could show you the 3, but then we can, we're gonna take them apart and talk about those. Now for these summer adventures, or the Spread Your Wings and the Seeds of Friendship, both of those are more adult-oriented albums, or the themes are a little, the colors a little richer, a little more adult-looking. We also have another really fun summer project. This is our Summer Fun Little album, and this again is a 6x6 album. So it opens up and you have pockets, and then this opens up. The flap lifts up. Your water fights, your balloons, water balloons for the 4th of July, your blasters. Then it will open up like this, a squash fold on that side, and we have a squash fold 12 by 12 page that opens up all the way on this side. So that's just a really great little project for summer fun. And again, brighter colors, the theme's a little more juvenile on this. This is a great little project for your kids. Also, it's really fun about this, it's not really a big bulky album, so it's a great project if your kids want to have pictures of them with their water fights and their balloons and that they can then pack this little album around with them. And just review a couple other fun summer things. Now, so many people I know this year are camping. So we have this, our Outdoor Adventure album. Now this is a 3-inch spine album, and it is with our chipboard. And again, it is so much just camping, just your pure camping type albums. Now, if you like the camping and you're going to go camping and you don't really want to do a full album, then we have another kit that is a ring typed album. So you have your pages and your pockets, and then it is bound together with rings. So that's kind of a fun way to sum up the summer. Speaking of the ring albums, let me then just show you another ringed album. This is Say Hello to Summer. And again, you can see then with the rings is how this is bound together. So you have your pages, and this you have some die cut pages, and it is just full of a lot of pages. So it keeps going and going and going. And that in pockets, so you can put more photos in there. It's kind of like a little ring album. So, and this is Say Hello to Summer. Just because it's just gorgeous and nature, and to me, summer is nature. This little album with the nature sketchbook is full of the fruits and the butterflies. And again, a beautiful little album with featuring the Graphics 45 papers, lots of flips and flaps. And again, wonderful for your garden pictures, your botanical pictures, just if enjoying your summer days out there playing. So that is a nature sketchbook album. Another great little project, if you like flowers and gardens and our birds and that, is Our Loved Ones Are Near. And again, lots of A little lift up and flaps with this, and more flaps and flaps and flaps. Again, very summer oriented. Our birds, our nature. If you're out bird watching, soar, birds of a feather flock together so they could be with friends. That's a great little project with the 8x8, and that one is Our Loved Ones Are Near. Go back here. Oh, go back more to our camping one. We have this little great album that actually looks like, you see here, like your fishing creel. So this is great for your outdoorsmen, for those of you that love fishing. And we have our little buckle on this. Now, a lot of people have suggested, maybe when they were making this, when we were doing this in a class, that we just put this on with Velcro. So instead of having to unbuckle the buckle, they could just lift up the Velcro. But this is our little creel-shaped album, and this is purely for you fishermen out there. So this is our camp. And this is really fun because it's our 6x10 album, so it's a big format, but it is oriented that the pages come from top to bottom. So when you're working on that, you want to make sure that you have your orientation right of your pages. And again, like I said, just a pure fishing type album. Now, another version of taking that 6x10 album, and instead of having it going this way, it almost looks like your little travel bag going off to paradise. So here's your suitcase, and for all ready to travel and get out, whether it's on a plane or just at your own beach paradise. But this one, again, is orientated that you see top to bottom, and that has more of a tropical theme view to it. But again, just a different way of looking at the 6x10 albums. Let's see, what others do we have? You, Me, and the Sea is an 8x8 album. Again, kind of really just ocean-oriented. It has fun little glassine pocket in here, so if you're collecting some shells or some sand, some different things there as you collect and walk along the beach. That nice. Another summery type album is our Flutter album, featuring again the butterflies, the bloom and grow, the flowers. So that's a great 8x8 curved back spine album. As you can see, there's just no end to our summer albums and projects. Then our Little Mermaid album. Again, the colors are so pretty on this here. And again, just kind of a fun little beachy type album. So there kind of gives you a preview of some really fun summertime albums. So, but let's get that, oh, you know what? And just because if we didn't have enough, let me just show you a few other ones. Our Summer Beach Vacation, this is a 6x8 album, and it's really fun because it's just all summery and beachy. With all of Pinecone kits come with a full colored instruction, so you're kind of seeing here the pages. This has 12 pages in this particular album. It shows you how to put those waterfall pages into your album. The zoos are now opened up again, so for those of you that are going to the zoo, this one here, A Day at the Zoo, and you have 24 pages to this chunky album, which is a really fun little way to spend your days at the zoo. So let's go back and let's look at our summer adventures and our dual project kit. So let's pull those out. For those of you that are watching, you might want to be taking notes, and then you can go back and replay this video. But let's start here. So with your Spread Your Wings, just pull out the kit. And this is what you have with your kit. You have your instructions. So this is our dual flat book project because both kits are made with the flat book. So you're basically getting a package of flat book blanks. You have 6 of the blanks in there. 3 is for our 3-section album, and 3 are for the accordion fold album. And as you can see with your instructions here, we're showing you for the 3-section album, you have section 1, section 2, and section 3. And then for your accordion fold album, you have 1 piece that you're using as your cover. Then we're going to combine 2 of the flat books together to make that accordion fold. And here's your cutting guide. So we're telling you if it's your Wings album or the Friendship album, and then some words to do some embellishing. If you don't have rubber stamps, if you don't want to print out your journaling or your sentiments off your computer, then we're giving you a few prompts there to start your journaling. So let's see, ribbons, our ribbon closure. And then this is just the beautiful collection of Spread Your Wings from Graphics 45. And we are so glad that they reprinted this again, that whenever they have reprinted it, every 3 or 4 years, I think they reprint it. We love it because we can just do so many fun projects and kits. And even though this paper is a reprint, this is a completely new project that we have created with this. So we have our 3 here that we just looked at real briefly. Section 1, and they have a flap. So what you're going to do, and we suggest that you work on these flat. So you're going to take one of your flap book blanks, and it opens up, and you have 6, 6, and 5 section. So you can see when that is laying flat, that is what that is going to look like. And then for your second section, you have your second section, which is nice to work on when it's laying flat. And then the third section, you want to work on that laying flat. And in the instruction guide, okay, where did I just, did you see it go flying off the table? Oh, that, okay, just give me a second here, we'll find those instructions. Maybe it did go flying off. No? Well, you gotta love it, don't you? Okay, that's fine. Somebody is probably say, oh, it's just sitting right there. There it is, just sitting right there on my table. Okay, so we're gonna show you that this is what it looks like when you first open up your kit. So let's go back here. Section 1, when you first open up your kit, this is what you're seeing. This is what you're seeing. This is a self flap that opens to the left. So that will open to the left. Then we're suggesting that you work on it flat. So this is the side, what it's going to look like when you're working on it flat. This is not adhered. You see, I just temporarily put that on there. Then when you flip it over, this is what's going to be on the reverse side. This stays blank because that's going to get adhered to the back of panel 2A. So you want to cut your paper, so you want to look at your cutting guide. Now, when you go to cut this, these panels here are 6 by 6. This one is a 5 by 6. So you want your paper to be slightly less than 6 inches wide, because if you go the full 6 inches, you're going to overhang on this here, or you're going to be on that score line. If you're on the score line, your page won't fold. So we suggest that you cut 5 7/8 by 5 7/8, that's going to leave a little white reveal all the way around. Or if you cut it 5 15/16 by 5 15/16, that is 1 tick mark before the 6. Then your pages will be on there, and they'll be close to that score line, but they will not be on the score line. You see my score line. We're going to ink the edges anyway. So this was inked with a vintage photo. If you want to pull out the rose colors or the greens or whatever to ink your edges. But again, you want to cut just slightly less than that. Okay, so that is section 1. We're going to go ahead, follow our cutting guide so that we can see that this was our Spread Your Wings album. So for this one piece of paper here, we're getting some of the Friendship album, which is the Seeds of Friendship album. So those are going to be saved for the next project. Then this is the front cover of the Your Wings. So I have my front cover piece I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut a little strip of it off of it, like a 1-inch piece, and flip it over because it is the pink gingham on the one side, and we have then our little birds on the other side. So if you will cut your papers as shown here in the cutting guide, when you flip it over, and if you're using this bottom left quadrant of the paper, you will have these little girls, as I call them, our little bird-faced girls. You'll see them, and they'll be centered there so that they're actually talking to each other, showing your little friendship girls. So we're doing that. Then I want to just point out a couple of other things here. Yes, maybe I will. On the cutting guide, it is showing you on that front paper, just our main paper here, we were using the back side of this. We really did not use the front side of that. So I'm showing you, but we're showing you from the front side because you're going to fussy cut around your bunnies. You're going to fussy cut around the two little birds down here. We're going to fussy cut our fairy, our bunny rabbit, our flowers here, that big floral stem, our fairy here. And then this piece here is we are going to be using this for the front cover of our second project. Now, as you see, then we also noted here on the cutting guide, you're going to be using these strips here for your little 3-inch strips that we're going to be using those to put onto our album to finish off the edges there. So kind of on this one piece here, we're using everything, but it's not so much as intact as the one main graphic piece. Okay, so I have cut my pink gingham. I've cut a 1-inch strip of it. I flipped it over so I have my birds. My little stripe piece comes from another piece that we're going to be cutting. You'll see the stripe on the back. This we're cutting out from our icon card. Now these little girls here, our little bird girls, this is where they come from on that right there from the front cover. And that is what you're going to use in your pop dots and pop those up. Then on the inside, we're creating a self flap. So I'm going to cut out one of my 4x6 icon cards. And on this one, it is a little fairy playing a piccolo. So when I cut her out, the 4x6, I am going to score 1/4 inch along this edge here, adhere my red line tape to the back side, and then I am going to adhere it to my green dot. That will make that flap, and then I'll see this really pretty green floral damask pattern on the inside here. Gives me another place for photos. Okay, this frame came from the one sheet with all the frames on it, and then we just cut out the fairy image so that we could put our own photo there. This large frame is taken from our large frame here. So we're going to take this large frame, cut it to fit our 6-inch, we're cutting off the pink border, cut it so that it is 6 inches high. I want to use this floral spray up here on my photo. So I'm going to just show you here, you can see that we have cut into this frame here so that when I cut my 6 inches here, come across, come around your flowers to cut them out, and then it's just moved up here a little higher on your frame, so you've got that pretty floral spray here and you're not seeing the hole that's underneath. Okay, so that, the hole that's underneath here. So that does our first section. We have done the front and the back. When I'm looking at it, it looks like this is on the front side piece, but actually when it's laying flat, this piece is on the back side, but that flap folds over. Okay, then we go to our second piece. And again, very simple. On our second section, we're going to cover it here. This is what it's going to look like when you first open it up. This is laying flat. Now that bunny from the first main paper, right there when we fussy cut out the bunnies, this is where those came from. And then when you turn it over, on the second section, these two are left blank because this panel is adhered to the back of panel 3A. This panel is here to the back of panel 1B. So after I finish that and I fold that up, and this is my first section, you see this is going to get adhered to there. This one will get adhered to our section 3. Now on section 3, we created a flap, a self flap onto the flap of the blank. So I'm going to take my third piece and I'm going to do my inside section. Then I'm going to be doing my back section. And when I go to adhere, I'm going to create that self flap and adhere it to the gold paper. You see that? Before it is adhered to the blank. And then this is my back panel. And when this gets folded up, then this gets adhered to that section there. And that is how you create that 3 flap book section album. And that opens and flap and flap. Okay, so there we have our one project. Now our second project of this is our accordion fold. So I'm going to take my one flap book blank here, and I am going to be adding 2 score lines. And it's telling you here this is 3 pieces. You're going to add your score line. It's showing you right here. I have my 6x6, my 6x6, my 5x6. I'm going to leave the center as a 6x6. Now I'm going to score a 1/2 inch onto the left side and a 1/2 inch here onto the right side. To turn that the right way. So that this is still the 6x6. This becomes 4.5 by 6. This is 5.5 by 6. That creates, take that out, this channel area. So that's where those strips from that front paper, those go down the channel. You're going to want to cut them to 3/8 of an inch so they fit inside. You see, it's a score line, and a score line is going to fit inside there. And again, on this one, you're going to embellish the one side. You're going to embellish the other side. Okay, now we're going to combine our accordions. So I'm going to take my 4th piece of my 5th and my 6th piece. I've only got 2 pieces left over because I've made one my cover. I have the 665 section, the 665 section. I am going to adhere, and it doesn't matter whether you put that on the front or on the back. Again, you don't want to be on that score line, so it's going to be right there next, and you can just see there's a score line. I'm going to adhere that right to there. Then this will accordion fold, and I'm going to end up with that smaller piece on the top. So then when this is one large section, then I can embellish it. So we're showing you here, this is the accordion, the side 1. This is the accordion, the side 2. Okay, you can see here, accordion, side 1, and you're creating a pocket here. You flip that over, and here is accordion side 2. This very last panel you're leaving blank because that's what's going to get adhered into that center section of the album. Okay. And if you notice that really when you go to put your ribbons down, make sure that they're very securely into your album there, because you don't want to do what I just did and pull out the ribbon. Okay, so that's embellished. This here, you're cutting your piece and you're folding down the corner. This, we're cutting out the frame, cutting out that icon. This big fairy here, she came from, again, that main front cover piece. Okay, so that does those 2 little projects. Now, of that one kit. So let's look at then our summer adventure created with the French Country collection. So for those of you that ordered this one, our summer adventure album, and it is again Graphics 45. We're so glad they reprinted this just in time for summer projects. And again, you're going to get your ribbons, the closure, the eyelets, your inside pages, full colored instructions, your cutting guide, some sentiments and words, and the paper. Now with this particular album, we're giving you 2 different options, and I think we show that on the website, and we also, I think, show it here at the album. You can have it. If you want to feature more of the summer sunflowers, then we're going to cut it this area right here. Front cover, or it could be the front cover of the rooster. So if you want to have your rooster for the front cover, or you want to have the sunflowers for the front cover, that gives you 2 different options for the front cover. Okay, now what is most fun about this is, Just going to untie these. Now I did not do a knot in this because I wanted to be able to show you those, but after I have finished this, and if I'm doing this for real and it's final, I am going to tie a knot first and then a bow. So you have 6 sections that are already pre-scored for you. We just folded the one and you're gonna need to fold the other. So you are going to be creating like a U-shaped project for U-shaped pages. So those just scored and fold like that. I want to be working on these flat. And we're going to show you, so we're looking at your instructions. You got one section that's gonna be pages 1 through 8. Your second section is going to be pages 9 through 16, 8 pages there. Your third section, 8 pages, is going to be pages 17 through 24. You're going to fold them so they look like a U. I have folded them so they look like a U. I'm going to insert one U into the other one. So that will get put right into there. That's one section. You're going to duplicate that for section 2 and section 3. When I am working on these, I want to work on them flat. So here is my top layer. One side, here's the other side. Now, because when you have these and you're working on them flat, let's see, where's our page 1, is actually going to be near page number 8. So that is page 1, but when it's laying flat, page 1 is here, page 8 is here. And I have gone ahead and I've numbered this. This is 1 outside, this is 1 inside. Then I put these together like this, and I go ahead and write right in the middle of my page. I number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that gives me 8. Then I start here and I go 9 through 16 with this one and 17 through 24 there. Get them all embellished. Then you're going to line them up. Before you put your ribbon in. I didn't set the eyelets in these because I wouldn't have been able to pull those apart. So I have my eyelets, got a bag of eyelets. You're going to go ahead, put your eyelet there. Using a crocodile, you want to set your eyelets. So then that will set your eyelets there, and you're going to do that on all 3. And I find just the easiest way to do that is when I make my holes, I put the 2 together. I want to open up or move my guide back all the way, and I'm going to be using the largest side, not the small side, but I'm going to be using the large side. I just put it in as far as it will go. And then so it's as far as it will go, then I can punch my hole and put my eyelet. The same thing for my cover. After I get my cover done, I am going to, because of the same kind of setting, obviously I think I used a different, there, I'll put it all the way to the back. And say I have one crocodile that does not have these in it, they've fallen out, and I've got this one that does. But if you push it all the way to the back, you can see that's where you're gonna be making your hole. Punch your hole first, then go through and set your eyelet. That's the front part that sets the eyelet. This is where you punch your holes. And then you put those together. And that's page, okay. That goes like that, and tie those in with your ribbons. Real briefly, I know we're just about running out of time here. So you are going to, and it tells you in your instructions, you're going to be covering your front cover. Then you're going to set your little snap. So cover your front cover, take your little snap, put the long prong through, and then the back, then you snap on the back piece. Then you cover your back, or you cover the inside cover. And the same with this. You're going to use the small hole of your crocodile. You want to punch a hole, then you're going to thread your barbed elastic through. But you will need to have your back cover on, then you put your front cover on. And that goes on like that. And then you can want to cover the inside so that you don't see those little barbs. Okay, well, thank you for our summertime adventures. Like I said, we've got so much going on for summer. This is Deb with Pinecone Press. Show specials, forgot to even mention that to begin with. You actually will get free freight at $75. For every order over 25, we're going to send you one of our Pinecone Press blanks. So thank you so much. We've got a lot going on for summer and hope you have a wonderful summer. Thank you.